Excellent. You would want to add, or you would want to add. You would have to add the section 1, because you cannot think about relationship between two variables when you don't understand the context. And the demography would give you what? The context. So you necessarily have to add section 1. These are decisions that you would have to make depending on the kind of data. These are decisions that you have to make depending on the data that you are working with. The demographic health survey across all countries that is being rolled out. So in terms of the instrument, so what I'm showing now is captured in terms of issues. So there's a section on alcohol and tobacco, planning, fertility and fertility preferences, right down to maternal health. Then the area that I work with, most of the status of children. So you have questions on initial breastfeeding, breastfeeding status, indicators. And in Ghana, this is the only survey that you're going to get information on anthropometric indicators at the national level, having it over time. Then you have questions and women's status and empowerment. So from the instrument, demographic health survey captures data on. From the instrument's point of view, these are the thematic areas that the survey captures information on. But in terms of the data files, these are the data files in the demographic health survey. So in the demographic health survey, you don't have the data files sectioned as we have in the Living Standard Measurement Survey. So as I said previously, the file, so it calls it R because it calls it the birth recode file, the couple file, the household member, and in some of the surveys, it does the verbal autopsy, and in some surveys too, it has data based on these areas. A combination of what? Issues and hierarchy. Verbal autopsy. Oh, who can help us with verbal?
Someone who is alive is asked to give a report about the death in the family. Usually it's used for probably maternal mortality. To ask them if that is Stata has died over the past 1 year, as to be specified. So they give
yeah, and what about social autopsy? Prof, can you help us with social autopsy?
Autopsy generally tries to make questions to obtain information on the situation you are investigating, like verbal autopsy for maternal mortality. Then you have the autopsy, real anatomy, where you dissect the corpse to find out. So whether it is social, verbal, mortality, it is to try to investigate through questioning of the people that are around who know the situation to get information to be able to make a conclusion about the situation.
Thank you. So the main distinction is one verbal is verbal, oral autopsy. As Prof said, the one is other medical, and the other one is where it is.
I just wanted to add, if, for example,
yeah.
social autopsy has to do with finding out if this person has this social disorder.
And there's huge funding coming up in this area of studies that are trying to find how the social autopsy evidence corroborates the medical autopsy evidence. There's huge funding for that. Okay, so you can put it off. Yes. Can you pass it? As researchers, let us not do research for the sake of it. Let us look at the trends in terms of where money is coming from and where the issues are. Yes, go ahead.
The demographic health surveys, I know that of Nigeria is for 2018 is the preliminary results are out. Other DHS, they have a component for biomarkers because it's not captured here.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So these are the most dominant ones that runs through. So these biomarkers, they call them the special surveys. So in Ghana, they recently also released the 2018 one, which is a special survey. Okay, so any questions on the overview for the DHS and the LSMS? Okay, so let's continue with our discussion on... Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with it.
Standard of living has three components used. It's more like a composite scale, where just like quality of life, and HGI, just like HGI, quality of life, they have composite scales they use to compute the standard of living. So they'll put in so many variables, like 3 variables, like years of schooling, probably maybe infant mortality, and some other things.
No, but this particular welfare status, poverty status, based on household consumption expenditure. So it equates its consumption expenses that each person has to consume. So in Ghana, they use the 2,100 calories. And they find the corresponding expenditure and find out whether households are meeting that level of expenditure or not. Okay. So yesterday, we got to this point. So I want all of you to pull up the do file, initial commands that I've talked about. So yesterday, we all called in the Sec1 data set. So what I've done today is that I've enhanced that do file with the initial commands that I talked about earlier on. I want you to do this. Is it clear? So yesterday, you had not anything should have used Sec1. But you had used Sec1 in that long change directory. And I've told you that it's an initial mandatory command. So enhance your do file with these steps. So your first line should be clear all or off. Your third line should be capture log close. Your fourth line should be change directory, but don't use the path that I'm using because the path that is there is specific to my laptop. So each and every one would have a different path. So all that I'm asking you to do is to enhance your do file, as at yesterday, to this point. Then we can build on it. Then, Prof, what I've done for you is also on line 6. I've given you the command to unzip a file. So if you have a file that is zipped, Stata has a routine that would allow you to unzip the file. Then you can work with it. So line 6 unzips the file. And then line 7 allows me to use the file. Prof, you're asking what it means. People from Port Harcourt were disturbing you with emails. So the set more off, I explained it by saying that our results window has a limited capacity that it can take. So even if you have more results to show, once it reaches the screen's capacity, you see underneath more. It means Stata would want you to click on more to see the other results. So in order to disengage that command or that limitation, you are telling Stata that set that inbuilt command more off. Set that command off. Please, I want you to work in a do file. I don't want you to work in the user interface. So open the do file as from yesterday and enhance the do file.
By typing this one.
Yes, so first of all, you pull up the do file. I want to see your do. I don't want a fresh do file. Oh. I want to see the do file that you worked with yesterday.
This CD, I want to type the user.
So the CD, as I said, is you are changing directory to a path on your computer. So don't type what I have there because what you have there is specific to my computer. So look at your use, where you called in the data. You see the path that you are working in. So in your case, you are working in your C drive. In your C drive, you have users, you have ASOS, documents, then so on and so forth. So this is going to be your path. And with the change directory, you always have to end with a folder. You don't end with a file name, because it's a folder that you're going to put things in it and take things out of it. So your CD file would always have to end with a folder. Do you understand? Because it's a port that you are telling Stata, I want to put things back into it. Samuel, you need to go in tea break. So now let's go around and get people to be on board.
So when we open the
Okay, but Prof, you should have the one that you called in the Sec1 data.
okay, it looks like I have them in different departments.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Excellent. So you should have another one. So you are correct. So now do what I have there. So start with line 1, clear 1. It's clear.
Sorry.
So
I have to type this from
no. So
here.
yes. Then go just as we have there. Set more off. Yes, but you are not using the right do file. You see, his do file has the use. So maybe you say no, you should have another do file from yesterday.
Did you try open?
Probably.
Okay. So then it means you need to go over. You need to try typing it all over.
Type all of it.
Yes.
Now that group.
Yes. Okay. So the CD has to be specific to your computer. So you copy from the C here up to this, because this is a file, this is a folder. So copy from here up to part A. So it means that is where you're going to work from. No, because sec is a file. Sec is a file. Are you okay? So let me see, go up and run it, let's see. I want to see your CD. Yes, but I want to see the command. These are notes. Four or 5 lines. Okay, so can you be a resource person? My main worry is the 4th and 5th. So if you've done the 4th, try running it. Let's see if you'll be successful. Execute it. Yes, thank you. Let me see. Click here. Let me see. No. No, it's set more off. It's not set more all. Off. Okay. If you finish that line, try running it. Let's see.
Set more.
Off. Please close this. Oh, you've been successful. Yeah. So go up and there. Yeah, it's okay. So you see, it's recognized the CD. You've successfully opened the log file. You've called in the data. So now come here. So now your use, you don't need all this long line again. You can just say use sec1 because you've already told Stata you are working in this directory.
So it just goes straight.
It just goes straight and you'll pick the data from there.
This is taking us back to the way we used to program before this.
What I did was I closed everything. Maybe that's what's happening.
No, but you don't have the first 2-3 commands. There's clear all, set more off, capture log close. You don't have them. No. Please, your initial commands should be exactly what we have on the screen. So your first command, line of command should be clear all. So go exactly the way we have it there. That's why I call it initial mandatory commands. So line 1 should necessarily be clear all. Line 2 necessarily set more off. Line 3 capture log close. So let's follow it sequentially. Yes, try executing. Let's see. Your CD is not in full. Your CD will have to indicate the path. So after the CD, identify the path that you are working with from your computer. And the easy way to identify the path is you call in the data and it will direct you to the folder that you are working from. So go here. Open. Go to the folder that you have the data in it. Which folder do you have the data in it? So go down maybe somewhere. Click on that again. Click on that. Data. Stata. Stata. Click on it again. Okay, down part A. Go to part A. Sec1. So you see, this is the path from C up to part A. Sec1 is the data. So you see here is up to a folder. So copy this up to this point and use it as your change directory. No, from the C. You don't need the up to part A. So copy it. Yes, so open your do file. Take the cursor here. Yes, then put it there. Be mindful of these. And because this is a path, you need to put it in full, otherwise Stata, sorry. Then it's 13, sorry. Then close it with this shift here. You opened with that, so you need to, okay, then come down. So this log file that you are opening, this is 1, not sec. Sec, not sect. Okay, then try executing it. Let's see. No, execute is the next one. Click on it. Okay. You see, command clear not defined by clear.adu. The reason is that you've put in capital C instead of small c. So you see it's showing black. It's not showing blue.
Off is showing blue too.
Sorry?
Off is showing blue. This is showing.
No, the command itself is set more.
Okay.
So this is off. So you can make it set more on. So this is not an inbuilt command.
Okay.
Okay, so it's saying
Option replace.
you didn't type the replace well. So you have a B in it. Yes.
I have to copy this
Yes.
directory.
You've done that?
Yes.
Okay, so go back.
I've copied.
Excellent. So you've opened the zip file. Okay, I'll come back.
I've opened it to copied it.
Okay, so now line 5, type line. Are you successful? Okay, 1 second. Let me put this thing on. I want you to be a resource person, so please. No, so go around. Yeah. Are you okay? No? Sorry? Okay, I'm coming. 1 second. Okay, so you can continue. Here is saying the file not found because you don't have it in there. So just put asterisk here so that you disengage it on the on zip file. So you finish with the typing and I'll come to you. Because a lot of you have already unzipped the file, the line 6, it will tell you that the file cannot be found. So just put asterisk on it to disengage that line. But you keep it in your do file and later you can make reference to it in case you have to work with a zipped file. So if there's a line of command that you are not going to use, but it would help you in the future, you can just disengage that line of command by prefixing it with asterisk. Once you do that, that whole line of command will be green. Then you can proceed with it. So please, for those of you who have been successful, continue to up to line 13. Continue to up to line 13. Yes. Yes. Yes, so that is the... Excellent. Yes, you see. No, let me show you an easy way to do it. If you click on this, you see it's changed. Yes, then you just copy it. Then you open your do file, then you just put it in it. Then you see space this and close it with the double quotes as well. And close it, yes.
No, this part, I want that and open the specific file.
No, this is directory. Okay. So it's a port. It should be a folder. Okay. Yes.
So I will close it
with the double quote.
Double quote. I won't put slash.
No, no.
Then
enter. So it's done it. So please try work in your do file. So copy this to your do file. Then you can work with your do file. How did you get it? Okay, try number 4, let me see. Number 4 on your left. Number 4, line number 4. Not here. Click on it. It's come here. So enter here, let me see. No. click on this. Then enter. Copy from here to part A. The chain directory should always end with a folder because it's a port that you have things in it. So it shouldn't be a file.
No, I'm trying to get the data. I think that's where the...
You don't have the data? Okay. So, Prof, are you up to line 13? Let's see.
Regions equal to
You're doing today. But mine is 13. How come you have 12? So, check. Please make sure you have 13 lines of command. You put it in your do file and put an asterisk before it so that later if you use the end there. Yes. So now you are working in part A. So sec 1A. No. .dta. Enter. Because Stata knows it's working from this directory. So please copy this and put it in your do file. Are you okay? Yes, if you have up to line 13, try executing it. Let me see your do file. Okay, so just enter go down. So you can have a lot of things down, but let's have the first 13 as we have it on the slide. So you can have a lot more, but let me see the first 13. So let me see your do file. Okay, so hold on, I want to see what I have there. How many? That's fine. Thank you. So be a resource. Be a resource person. The more you assist, the more you get the intuition behind it. Otherwise, it's going to remain mechanical.
Mine is complaining about the unzipped.
Yes, because you've already unzipped it. So for future reference, still keep it in your do file, but disengage it. And the way you disengage it is putting an asterisk before the unzip. So once you do that, it turns to green. I'm going to explain it. Okay. Okay. And you've executed up to line 13? Yes. Without any problem? Excellent. Resource person. Resource person.
Yes.
My good friend, are we on the same page? Yes. So execute this, let me see. But I'm seeing red here.
So it just open the data.
I'm seeing red here.
You understand? So you are not changing.
It says sec 1 cannot be found.
Log using this. So if you get one thing, it's just for you look for your log file, you see this.
Set 1 cannot be found because this should end at part A. No, you have to do it in your do file. So you know what? Try opening it from here again. Try opening the data set. Yes. Open. So go and open the sec 1 again. Part A. Sec 1. So you see, this is the path. It starts from C up to part A. This is the file, but the folder that the file is in is here. So you need to, yes, from C with the quote, yes. Now.
It's not where I'm waiting for is not good.
Sorry, we didn't think about Mac. Yesterday I tried making calls, but I was not successful.
Because what I actually want to learn, when you get to the, I've used it a lot.
Oh, you've used a lot.
Yeah, regression,
Okay.
multiple linear regression, logistic regression. I've
Okay.
done it a lot. But I want to stay for.
If we get there and I don't mention it, draw my attention to it.
So I moved to
No, the CD should still be there.
No, I want to paste it. I've copied it.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, do you have
Yes, but then you have to start with CD.
CD?
Yeah. Yeah. Enter space, sorry. Then minimize it and then run it, let's see. Now, open the do file again. Then minimize it.
Okay, that's
Minimize it. Then execute it. Yeah. Congratulations. Okay. So it says what I have there is generate regions equals to region. But you have generate region equals to region. So it is telling you that variable region already defined. Because the data has a variable called region already. So it's regions equal to region. So edit it from here.
I should remove.
No, it should be regions,
Yes.
not region. Yes. Please, those of you who've been successful with the first 13 commands, make sure you've saved the do file. Make sure you've saved the do file. Because we're going to work with the do file throughout the day and tomorrow.
Prof,
Yes.
should the command, the notes under the command, should they also show in the display?
Yeah, the commands will show. You mean in the results window?
Yes. The comments we...
Yes. They'll come up, yeah.
I want to change the data set to section 2. Right? So, I'll try to the one I want to use now. But try to highlight this, it doesn't go.
So now you want to work with section 2.
Yes.
So all that you do is you change this to section 2.
Change it to section 2.
Yes. Then execute it.
But yeah.
No, don't change it. Because no. Because section 2, this data section 2 is part of the files in part A.
Okay, let me know this.
But you see, it's not going to see section 2 because you don't have section 2. You have 2A, 2B, 2C. With the 13 commands. The 13, because I want to make progress with it.
Okay.
So type them here.
I want to draw attention tomorrow because it's Friday. A lot of people who are Muslim want to go and pray.
Okay. We'll try and finish by lunch. Okay. Okay. Can we get back to our seats? I think about 99% of us are up to line 13. Are you okay? Sorry? Okay, I'm going to explain. So, a lot of you are having, not a lot of you, some of you are having challenges with line 13. Simply because instead of regions, you are typing in region. And the essence of that command is to introduce you to, can I get your attention, please? So in Stata, you can generate a variable. And the short form of generate is the gen that I've typed in there. So I'm telling Stata that generate another variable given an existing variable. So generate regions equals to region. Do you understand? If you leave out the S, the red line will pop up telling you that region has already been defined and is existing in the data set, which is the case. So Stata doesn't know what you want to do. So it's generate regions equal to region. Then when you finish, you can look at the two variables, regions and region. Sorry? Yes. Generate, please, can you assist? What do you say is the problem?
It's not executing. It's saying you couldn't find the folder.
Let me see your do file. Let me see your do file. So the problem is the change directory. And I said the change directory should always end with a folder, not a file name. This is a file name, this is not a folder.
Okay.
So now we've successfully this is why I always say that you need to expand your